Folks, Velocity Mortgage is a different breed of lender. They're a publicly traded lender, and they're what I call a make sense lender. A lot of folks won't know what that means, but we have the one and only Stephen Dow to talk about it. Stephen, why don't you do that marketing thing real quick?
Oh, again, although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's get it going. I think we might have missed it on the last ones,
We
but
did. We did.
yeah, yeah. I'd seen it a while, so
Sorry,
I was so
my bad.
excited. Yeah, my bad too. My bad. I'm sure we'll be fine there. With that being said, yeah, makes sense lending right now in this market is pretty valuable because with certain lenders, pulling back on certain programs, certain local lenders or smaller banks or regional banks doing away altogether with certain products, having somebody like ourselves in your back pocket, or at least a plan B in some cases, is invaluable because again, with the type of products that we have, the flexible underwriting and again, our perspective, or philosophy behind that with compensating factors, we can overlook a lot of situations, such as in the way of like maybe debt service ratio or DSCR specifically on commercial or multifamily, because on residential, we're not even looking at that. So we make it much easier to qualify for financing, just as long as the numbers make sense as far as the payment and everything else. But considering the ease of use of the product is typically the best trade-off for most legitimate investors. Outside of that, again, with certain, deficiencies, such as the way of debt service ratio, we'll make exceptions. Usually the rule of thumb is cash on hand or reserves. If you usually have a good amount of reserves, it's measured in months. Typically for us, 6 or more, sometimes 12 or more months of reserves after your down payment is a great compensating factor for us to kind of overlook certain things. So definition of make sense lenders. Yeah, if maybe you're lacking in this area, or even your FICO score is not quite there, or you need higher LTV for a certain situation, we can kind of make those exceptions. But again, it's going to be on a case by case basis. And yeah, other than that, I mean, it would definitely behoove you to have us as a plan B because it couldn't hurt. Because when all else fails, Uncle Steve can come through.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think a lot of people need to realize. I think we're heading into a lending environment that's going to get harder from here. I think we started the year at like a 3 out of 10. I think we're a 6 today. We're going to 9. This is going to get really hard. I think there's a lot of lenders who will have products disappear. They will never say no, but they'll grind you where no's the right answer.
Right.
I think having Velocity as a plan B is a great option. I think it's a plan A for creative investors, that 90% CLTV loan we've talked about a couple of times. Don't see that anywhere else. I think is pretty powerful. Yeah. And again, you're willing to make exceptions. You're willing to dig into a deal. You've personally helped me a couple of times buy and refi some stuff. So I know what you guys do. If somebody wanted to reach out and see if you could help them or get a file going, how would they do that?
Email is usually the best. SDAO@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT for one rental at a time to make it past the firewall. Body of the email, brief description, what you're looking for, property address will really be helpful, at least city and state to make sure I lend there, your mid FICO score, and the best number to reach you at. So usually 24 hours or 24, 48 hours, I'll usually be in touch.
Yep. Again, send me an email, sdow@velocitymortgage.com, 5 letters in the subject, ORAAT. Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.